All right. Okay. We are live. It's Brent Leary, still sheltering in place like everybody else is. And with me right now, because this is a kind of a very timely and very important topic we're going to be talking about, especially right now, particularly with small businesses are concerned. So I'm here with Nellie Akalp, who is the founder and CEO of CorpNet, and she is a longtime contributor to Small Business Trends. And she's just somebody, just Google her name. You'll see all sorts of stuff she's written and talking about, and it's always good stuff. So Nellie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Brent. How are you?
Like I said, I am here sheltering in place. It's been doing that like everybody else. Sometimes you feel like you need to just get out and run, but otherwise I'm doing okay. How about you? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh God. It's you kind of hit that nerve right now where, it's a pandemic, and I'm flooded and overwhelmed with emotions, but as a leader, as a mom, as a wife, I play multiple roles in my life. I have to keep it together. And right now, I have to tell you, it's wearing on me. First and foremost, my obligation is to obviously make sure I'm healthy so I can keep my husband and my children and my household healthy. And then number two is my obligation to make sure we have a business that is able to keep my employees employed and make sure that we were able to, uh, you know, be able to pivot quickly enough to make sure my employees did not have to go unemployed and I didn't have to be faced with layoffs. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I think everybody is experiencing this. And for me, I'm one of those survivors that I don't let that side of me show a lot. I have my guards up, but I have to tell you, it's starting to show because right now, what are we going into second, third week here? And these next 2 weeks apparently are supposed to be extremely, extremely scary, especially for people living in California. So my husband has been very cautious and overly conservative as to really, really socially distancing ourselves from everybody and just having the entire house locked down to just us two and our four children. So it's been a little challenging for me, especially because I'm a working mom, I'm a CEO, mother of four, and I have to work daily. And right now, with what we're about to get to as far as how CorpNet has gotten itself involved in the SBA loan programs and assisting small business owners out there, we're working 7 days a week. So it's really challenging. And I try to, just take it one day at a time. And I'm telling you, whoever your higher power is, I don't want to condone one religion over another, but I'm telling you, I'm really staying close to my higher power right now.
I think we all should. Like you said, whoever it is or what is, we need them. All right. So before we jump into that conversation, why don't you just tell folks a little bit more about what you do with CorpNet?
Thank you so much. So, as CEO of CorpNet, our company provides the most comprehensive, cost-effective services when it comes to any small business owner, entrepreneur, accountant, CPA, legal or tax professional, or any type of business coach, consultant representing clients. We provide assistance with setting up business entities, whether it would be setting up a corporation or an LLC, setting up a sole proprietorship or a partnership. If you have an existing business, expanding that business into other states and keeping those businesses in compliance. We provide the services in all 50 states. And because of this pandemic that we're faced with, and obviously we together are facing these unprecedented conditions, we as CorpNet decided this is a great opportunity for us to really further pivot and expand our service offerings and start helping small business entrepreneurs and owners with the SBA assistance and SBA loan assistance that's out there right now, whether it be the economic injury disaster loan application assistance or the PPP, which stands for the Paycheck Protection Program loan assistance.
Why don't you paint a picture for us what the current kind of environment is for small businesses?
Right now, it's pandemonium. I'm not kidding you. There is so much misinformation out there. There is so much misinformation out there, and small business owners are running around trying to figure out what is the correct information, what is incorrect information, where they need to turn to. And, in dealing with a lot of accountants, CPAs, legal and tax professionals, and doing webinars for that segment of our business, I continuously say right now, accountants, CPAs, this is the silver lining for you guys. I mean, your business should be rocking right now. And if you're going dormant or if you're thinking of closing up shop, then shame on you, because right now clients are really looking at their financial advisors, whether it be their enrolled agents, their CPA, their accountant, to get them the correct information they need to be able to submit these applications for financial aid and Paycheck Protection Program assistance. And as a result, we're here to help.
Okay, so tell us, we'll take these one at a time. Let's talk about the Paycheck Protection Program. Exactly what is that?
So right now, under the CARES Act, and through the stimulus, small business owners have the ability to apply for different types of financial aid and assistance out there through the SBA. I'd like to start with the Paycheck Protection Program, which is really your normal 7A SBA loan. And what this Paycheck Protection Program allows is for a small business owner with 500 or fewer employees, they can qualify up to a $10 million forgivable loan, as long as it's used for payroll costs, payroll benefits for their company. And really, there's a list as to what qualifies, but generally the way this loan is qualified for is a small business owner takes their 2019 total payroll for the last 12 months, takes the average and times it by 2.5%. And that is what is going to equal the amount that a small business owner can qualify for. And this loan is designed to allow small business owners with employees to get back up on their feet and prevent small business owners from laying off their employees. And it's a very strict guideline that even until today, there's new rules and regulations added to it. And, we have a team of 6 to 10 people working round the clock to find the actual laws that are governing this act that has been passed and what are the new developments. But generally, anyone who has a business and is a small business owner and has employees that are on payroll can qualify for this Paycheck Protection Program loan, which is a forgivable loan that you can qualify up to $10 million. And most of it, if not all of it, can become forgivable, meaning you don't have to pay it back as long as it is used for 8 weeks preceding the time the loan is funded for payroll costs and keeping your employees and not having to lay them off. There is very strict rules with that, and that 75% of this loan amount has to be used for payroll, and the balance of 25% has to be used towards expenses such as rent, mortgage interest for your business if you own the location where your business is being conducted, or utilities expense, and the list goes on.
Just to make sure, I've been thinking about this. A lot of small businesses, they have a lot of 1099 contract for folks that do a lot of their work, and these folks might work for a significant amount of time for them, but they're not full-time employees. So if you're in that situation, are you not able to apply for this?
This is a great question. So independent contractors that are working with a business are eligible to apply for their own Paycheck Protection Program as of April 10th, 2020. So the program is going to be available to independent contractors, and the application process for independent contractors to qualify for the Paycheck Protection Program will open up April 10th. Prior to that, and in answer to your question as to, well, what about small business owners that, have independent contractors that they're working with, and they're paying? Well, that is something that, according to the SBA, if a small business owner has been approved for this PPP loan, a portion of the loan proceeds can be used to pay their independent contractors, but it has to fall under the guidelines of that 25% versus the 75%. They're very strict because this is potentially a forgivable loan. So they want to be very clear and have very strict guidelines as to what will qualify for it being forgivable. And for those that think or have the notion of thinking that, oh, I'll get this loan and immediately it's forgiven as long as I follow, steps 1, 2, 3, that's not the case. Your lender that will fund you this loan will immediately be invoicing you with the loan terms and the payment amounts when it's time to pay it back, which is 18 months after funding. They're going to give you a 6-month grace period, and then you have to start paying the loan back, the portion of it that's not forgivable. But for everybody, you as the business owner, the onus falls on you to apply for the loan amount becoming forgivable to you.
Okay, so talk about the process. How long does it take? Do you get some kind of an immediate answer? And I guess the most important question is, when does the cash come into my hand?
Yes. So that's what we're all waiting for. And this is something that I do not know the answer to. I don't know the exact answer to. But what I can tell you is when I don't know the answer to something, I will not and do not rely on hearsay, and I don't rely on opinions. I go and look for the information. And right now, the most accurate information that you can get is on the United States Treasury website as it relates to this Paycheck Protection Program loan. So from what I understand is that the SBA has contracted with many different banks as SBA third-party approved lenders. And most of the smaller banks are hiring processors and strictly focusing on processing these types of loans. And what they're telling us is, ever since April 3rd, which this application process opened up to small business owners, they're taking applications online, and it'll take about 3 to 6 days for the application to be reviewed to see if they need any additional information. And then it's going to be assigned to an underwriter. And after that, the underwriter will directly work with the small business owner, and it can take anywhere from the start of the process till the end, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks till funding. Now, there is a lot of media around this right now as we speak. I mean, while even I'm on this, radio show, my phone is going off the hook. Updates, oh my God, the funds are ran out. The funds have been run out. It is very true that Wells Fargo, from our understanding and from the news media, and that they vowed out of this program. However, as of this morning, we understand that they want to participate. However, they're waiting for certain guidelines. So I'm not sure about the information that's out there. I do know, having been a Bank of America client, and having all my business banking through B of A. B of A is offering this service to their clients, but they're making it very rigorous, very hard for business clients to use B of A to go through the application process to submit an application for the Paycheck Protection Program. So right now, we're at the mercy of the smaller banks. And where our company, CorpNet, can assist the small business owner is that we have partnered with Liberty SBF Bank, and we've partnered with them to provide the small business owner with a Paycheck Protection Program loan submission assistance, whereby we take the information from our client. There is no upfront fees. We cannot charge our clients. No one can charge their client for assisting them with the Paycheck Protection Program application. It's against the law. We, as a third-party consultant, SBA loan packager, get our fees paid by the SBA at loan funding. It doesn't come from the client, and that's if we get paid. Really, why we're doing this is because, we've been in business for over 10 years. And, I'm luckily in a position where I can give back, and I want to help small business owners. And truly, I want small business owners to have the most accurate information as it's being developed and written as we speak. And I think our company does a really great job of delineating and breaking down that information and communicating it to the small business owner.
I was hearing, and maybe this isn't the case, that you should go to a bank that you already have a previous relationship with in order for this to proceed. But if folks that use you to kind of go through this process, they don't have to worry about you having to work with their bank, or do you have that relationship with that one bank that allows you to kind of act on behalf of the folks that small businesses that are looking to kind of have you go through the process for them?
Great question, Brent. In answer to your question, if a small business owner has an existing banking relationship with their bank, we not only urge them, but we want them, we encourage them to go to their existing bank, because they are going to get the most fastest response from their current bank. However, the problem that many small business owners are facing to this morning is the fact that their existing bank doesn't want to deal with them, or that their relationship with their bank is so new, or the fact that their bank has rigorous requirements as to what they're going to require from that applicant in order for the bank to process their application. But simply stated, and in answer to your question, absolutely, you are absolutely right. If a small business owner has a banking relationship already, they should go to their bank if the bank offers them assistance in obtaining this Paycheck Protection Program loan.
All right. And the key word that I heard you say over and over in this is forgivable loan. And I just want to make sure people know what that means for this circumstance, and what do they need to do to make sure their loan is forgiven if they are able to get it forgiven.
So again, the Paycheck Protection Program SBA disaster loan is a 7A SBA loan, and it's a form of a loan where under the CARES Act, a small business owner can qualify for up to $10 million based on their average monthly payroll for last year times 2.5, and that would be the loan amount that they would qualify for. Now, when I talk about payroll, there's a lot of things that can qualify as payroll costs. And, I've written about this. It's on the Small Business Trends website in the blog section under my blogs and under the articles that I've written. But there's many different bullets as to what would qualify. Payroll cost, healthcare insurance premiums paid on behalf of the company for the employees, vacation time, sick leave. There's a lot of things that go under there. But for the formula, it's basically your average gross payroll cost times 2.5 equals the amount that you would qualify for. And once you get funded, you must use that amount within 8 weeks to pay for payroll. And if you've laid off employees, bring them back. And if you use 75% of the loan amount funded for those purposes of payroll cost, and 25% for other normally ordinary business expenses, such as your rent, your mortgage interest, your utilities expense, expenses that you would normally incur in running a business under normal circumstances, then the entire loan will be forgivable to that business owner, meaning that business owner does not have to pay that loan back.
That's great. And one last thing before we move on to the next one, I've started hearing about some kind of creative ways that companies, small businesses are using these kind of services and opportunities, programs, to kind of make sure that they're able to keep employees, on board.
Mm-hmm.
And one example I heard of, a company saying, all right, we're going to have our employees work kind of like 40 hours on, 40 hours off. The hours on, of course, they get paid like they usually do, but then the other 40 hours the other week, they get unemployment insurance or unemployment benefit for the individual worker. Are you seeing any kind of these creative ways that companies are trying to figure out how to keep their employees but still take advantage of some of these programs?
Yes, and I'm seeing it a lot. And in fact, I made it available to our employees at our company, CorpNet. There's a lot of different creative ways, but what I will tell you is that because this is in essence a loan that can become forgivable, you will be asked for a lot of documentation. Okay, and this is not the time to try to become creative in the sense. You cannot become creative in the sense, but there are different ways that you can use this fund and, be smart about it. One thing that, I'm a mentor to a lot of accountants and business tax professionals, legal professionals, business coaches, and I mentor a lot of people as to how you can 10x your revenues. And one of the things that I keep mentoring people right now on webinars is this is your time. Accountants, CPAs, anybody representing clients, anybody in the financial sector where your clients are depending on you for their finances, this is your time. This is not the time to be sitting in front of the TV, having your potato chips, and being in your being in your sweatpants. This is your time. This is your time to be working 10 times as hard. You have a duty. You have an obligation to your clients, and your clients are counting on you. I mean, imagine they were counting on you before all of this. small business owners don't have an idea of what a P&L is. I mean, with all due respect, I'm a small business owner. My best friend next to my husband is my accountant. Okay. I don't want to deal with P&Ls. I mean, I have to because I'm a CEO of a company, okay? But I don't want to deal with those types of numbers, okay? And I don't have the patience for it. Small business owners have never wanted to deal with it. So
Yeah.
imagine they've never wanted to deal with it and now they have to deal with it. So they need their accountants and their financial professionals more than ever.
I want to tell folks that they can shoot some questions, and we got a few that are starting to come in. But I want to kind of let folks know, send them whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on LinkedIn or whether you're on Twitter. I'm looking for them. So in the meantime, the other part that we wanted to talk about is I want to make sure I get this right. The economic, what is it? Economic Injury Disaster Relief Program. Talk about what that is.
So the SBA also has a loan, which is called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. And also, as part of that, there is what is called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Relief Advance of up to $10,000. And these are also called the 7B loans or SBA 7B loans. And basically, what the SBA is saying is any small business owner, again, that has been in business prior to January 30 of 2020 can qualify for this SBA EIDL. It stands for Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Any business owner with employees of 500 or fewer that has been in business before January 30 of 2020 can apply for this economic injury disaster loan. This loan can qualify a small business owner for up to $2 million in financial aid. It is a loan and it has to be paid back and can be paid back up to 30 years. It is completely at the SBA's discretion as to what those repayment terms will be and how much the small business owner will qualify for. However, with that said, it's a 3.75% fixed interest rate for any type of business owner with any type of a business entity that's conducting business for profit, and 2.75% for any type of a nonprofit organization. Typically, this application loan process is whereby the small business owner can directly go to the SBA.gov website and apply directly for this loan assistance. And typically, after a completed submission and successful submission of your filing, as long as the small business owner has requested and checked the box that says, hey, do you want a $10,000 immediate cash advance? If they say yes and provide their name of their bank, their institution, and their routing number, small business owners are receiving up to $10,000 in loan advance in the form of a grant that's coming to their bank account. Now, this is where all this information has changed over the last week. Is first, the SBA said it was, you get this $10,000 grant within 3 days. Nobody got it. We haven't even gotten it yet. Then, we kept calling. I mean, we have people working around the clock to get this information from us. Then it became within 3 to 5 business days. Now the SBA has updated their website saying that they're still giving out these grants, but it will come to your bank account from the United States Treasury within several days of a completed successful submission of a filing.
Wow. Okay. That one was detailed, and once again, that is not a forgivable loan, right?
The $10,000 portion of it becomes forgivable. It's in the form of a grant.
Okay.
If the small business owner does not qualify for the actual SBA loan. However, if from what I understand, and again, this is all changing on us. One day we're hearing it's always a grant. The next day we're hearing, oh, it's in the form of a grant only if the small business owner doesn't actually qualify for the 7B loan. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there is mixed messages out there, misinformation. From my understanding of it, a small business owner who does not qualify for this $2 million will receive that $10,000 in the form of a grant, which is completely forgiven, completely tax-free, and does not count as part of their taxable income.
Do you recommend that folks apply for both right now, or should they just try one over the other? What's the strategy?
So, in my opinion, the EIDL application is a very, very, very tedious yet simple process. For those small business owners who really need that hand-holding and would like to make sure that their application gets submitted successfully, we really, really encourage you to use a third-party filing service such as my company, CorpNet, to make sure that it gets your application for economic injury disaster loan gets submitted quickly, and it also gets submitted successfully, because our filers, our processors are working round the clock. And when you submit this application to CorpNet, we review it for accuracy, and we will screen the information to make sure all the information is there so that your application can get fast-tracked and get, successfully submitted and accepted by the SBA. But again, I want to be very transparent. This is not something you have to use my company for. You can directly do this if you know how, and if you have the information at hand. You can directly apply for the EIDL loan and the loan advance directly by going to the SBA.gov website. If you want to use a company like mine, there is a minimal service fee that we charge. However, it's very minimal, and what you're going to get from us is that personal attention to detail and that service and hand-holding that you would need to answer any of your questions.
And what are the deadlines for this, for getting your applications in?
Right now, what they're telling us is you have to have the application submitted prior to June 30th of 2020.
And if you do have to start paying back a portion of the loan, when does that start?
Okay, so there's different payment terms for each of the loans. For the economic injury disaster loan, if a small business owner gets qualified, the amount of the loan and the repayment terms of that loan are completely up to the discretion of the SBA, the repayment can be up to 30 years, but the interest rate is fixed at 3.75%. There is a holding period or grace period where they call it deferment as to when you start paying the loan back if you get qualified. And that's you wait 11 months, and then within the 12 month after the loan has been funded is when you start paying the loan back.
Wow,
so that's for the EIDL. For the PPP, as I had gone through before, it's a little bit different. First of all, you have to apply for loan forgiveness. And then once you apply, and if you qualify for the full amount or a portion of if you qualify for the whole amount or a portion of that, the portion that is not forgiven, it becomes a loan, and it has to be paid back within 18 months. And the fixed interest rate on that is 1%.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, that's a lot of information, and thanks for taking the time to go through that.
Of course.
I want to get your take on, it sounds like the funds people are applying in record numbers. And so, and it sounds like Congress is already starting to work on another package. Um, 350 billion in this round. Do you feel like that's enough? Do you feel like if they do another package, is another 350 going to be enough, or what's going to take for this
Brett,
to really help small businesses out?
yeah, I mean, here's the deal. You and I both know how many small businesses are out here. I mean, we're talking upwards of 80 million, and I don't even know if that number is correct, but there's a lot of small businesses out there. And from what we're hearing right now, the funds have already ran out, you know?
Wow.
So for that reason, I've applied for this for us, for CorpNet, and we still haven't gotten our funds. And I want to be very transparent with everybody watching this. So if you haven't, get on it and start applying, because it's on a first come first serve. I mean, it's right within the law. The statute says it. It is a first come first serve basis type of a loan. So right now we're at the mercy of the government. We're at the mercy of these lenders. What I can tell you is that, we're not charging our clients any type of fees. There's zero fees up front. If you go to the corpnet.com website and, right from the homepage, you will see a little yellow strip that says, COVID-19 financial aid relief assistance, and you can apply for it, and it gives you the option of what you want to apply for. If you apply for the economic injury disaster loan assistance, yes, we charge a fee for that because we're allowed to as a SBA third-party consultant. And the SBA says it very clearly, even on their application, have you been assisted by a third party? We just can't charge an enormous amount. And part of the reason why, we're doing what we're doing and why people love us so much is because we're not raping our clients. We're charging a de minimis service fee that covers the time that our processors have to spend on the application with the client, making sure we've gathered all the information and submitting it to the SBA. But again, this is not something you have to pay for or go through CorpNet. You can directly apply for the economic injury disaster loan application and submit it directly to the SBA. For the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program loan, if you go to the corpnet.com website, you'll see there's no fees for that. We don't charge a fee for it. You cannot apply for the Paycheck Protection Program loan directly through the SBA. The SBA will have links on their website, but they will direct you to work directly with an SBA approved third-party lender bank. We have a relationship with a third-party lender bank that is processing these applications for us based on volume. And they have put away all their other types of loan assistance types of business and are strictly focused on processing paycheck protection loan program applications. However, at the end of the day, we cannot guarantee whether your loan will be funded.
Well, and even you can't even guarantee when you'll get a response from the government, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're still waiting, I'm assuming you probably got yours in pretty quick. So,
I mean, listen, the minute I get my check, I'm going to tweet it.
How's the demand been for this service? Are you seeing a lot of folks looking for this help?
Yes. The demand is outrageous. We're inundated with phone calls and emails, to the point that I mentioned at the beginning of this interview. We've had to open our offices 7 days a week, and now we're open Saturdays and Sundays. I mean, I'm working round the clock. My team is working round the clock. Not only we are, faced with an overwhelming demand, which, knock on wood, I see it as a good problem. I never want to turn away business. However, it tells me, and this is for everybody out there that's listening, it tells me that in a period of a crisis or a pandemic and what we're facing today, there's always a silver lining underneath every type of crisis. There's an opportunity under every crisis. And for those of you small business owners who are sitting there and wondering, oh my God, what am I going to do? From one business owner to another, try to find an opportunity in this moment of crisis. Try to see what you can do to solve problems out there. Try to see what you can do to pivot and to help save your employees and to save your business. Because for us, this is a moment where our employees are looking at us and going, wow. I mean, we were fortunate enough whereby we're giving our employees a little bit of a bonus during this time. And the reason why is because we need them to work. We need them to work overtime. We need them to work round the clock because we have a lot of demand, from the small business client sector. So we're here for you. CorpNet's here for you. And, I just want to see everybody getting very accurate, clean information out there. And if you happen to need our assistance in processing any of your SBA loan applications for disaster relief, we're here for you.
It is so funny as we were talking about this. A buddy of mine, my first real job out of school, we shared a cubicle. He now has his own small business, and he just told me that I want to make sure I got this right. Just got approved for the PPP loan today.
Yay!
So I'm going to see if I can actually bring him on because he also has a question he wants to ask you about your service, by the way. But I wanted to see if I could bring him on just to hear his experience with this process. So let me see if I can quickly shoot him an invite to join us here.
I would love that.
I mean, because we got a actual somebody who heard back. I mean, this thing is actually for real. So let's see.
And for any of you that's listening on into this radio show, if any of you have received your $10,000 or up to $10,000 grant from the SBA, let us know as well. Please, please, please type in the comments because we want to hear from you. I want to hear from you.
I know, because you were the way we were discussing it was like nobody has gotten anything yet. Nobody has heard anything back yet. Is this a myth? Is this real?
Well, so, and that's the thing. A lot of small business owners, Brent, even to this moment. I mean, I was just talking about with a few clients before I got on this show, and they're very, very, very reluctant. They're very reserved, and there's a side of them, there's a human element aspect to this where this is too good to be true,
Yeah. All right. But I've got my buddy.
Yes.
Let me bring him on with us. Is John? Look at this. John Taylor.
Oh, my God. How are you, my friend?
Oh, this is so cool. So John and I go back to what? It's almost 30 years, man.
Almost 30 years. It can't be 30 years, but you're probably right. It's probably been about 30. I don't want to think we're that old, but I think we are.
Yeah. Look, I got to see. Bring your bill down so I can see what's on your. Okay, I'm so glad it's not an Eagles hat or something like that.
Well, I see you're wearing that nonsense you're wearing, but that's okay.
Okay, let me do a actual introduction. So John Taylor, what's the name of your company again?
In Style and County Linen Center.
All right, so John and I go back almost 30 years. We worked as computer programmers. So he worked several years as an independent contractor. He's worked for a number of different organizations in that role. But then, how long has it been since you bought this business, right? So tell us about the business.
About 2.5 years ago, we bought the business.
All right, and what is it again?
What we do is, we have multiple divisions. One, we do commercial flooring and window treatment, mostly senior living facilities, things like that. But then we also have In Style, which is we basically sell linens, anything you need in the hospitality industry, with our niche being inns, B&Bs, not the big players, but more the smaller players that can't get access to that wholesale pricing.
All right, so cool. So you just went through the process, but tell us, give us the setup. Why did you have to go through and apply for this?
So anybody that's been watching knows that the hospitality industry has gotten crushed.
Mm-hmm.
So our customers have been, I mean, they're closed. A lot of them are just closed their doors. They're not, all the reservations for the spring got canceled. So our business right now is probably at about 15 to 20% what we would normally do this time of year in sales. That's just the facts. So, it became quite apparent. And then for the flooring and window treatment, we're shut out of the senior living facility. So that business is pretty much shut down. So I didn't want to lay people off. We have some great employees. I've been following every day, listening, starting 2 weeks ago. I literally got back from Hawaii and this was just hitting here. So I was been following, waiting for the third phase of this thing to go through, hearing a lot of things, communicating with the banks, talking to a couple different banks that we have relationships with. My accountant was sending me information. The bankers were sending me information, keeping me updated. These are the documents you're going to need. So I was gathering all the documents, getting everything together, and then submitted I basically given the application to the bank, I guess, and had pretty much everything to them last Thursday, because Friday morning was when we were going to, apply. Then there was some changes late Thursday. Everything got crazy. Had to resubmit another application, went back and forth, and it was through a bank. Okay. So, and then today the loan just got approved. Now, the SBA does not have the documents, the loan documents, the closing documents in order yet. They thought they would by now. So we don't know right now when that money's actually going to get in our hands, but we have been approved.
Well, at least you heard back, and it is a positive. So, I mean, were you expecting to hear back? Because that's like less than a week that you have heard back.
Oh my goodness, we just heard back too.
That's awesome. You know what? I think things are breaking.
He doesn't want to get on camera, but we just got notice back from B of A that our loan has been approved. And he was working really late last night trying to get all this information to them. And they just got back to us. We have been approved for a specific loan amount. And per John, we're just waiting for closing docs. So
yep, that's exactly what we're at. Yep.
This is true. This is happening, people. So if you're a small business owner, please do not wait. Get out there and start applying for your Paycheck Protection Program loan.
Yep. The moral to the story is you should talk to me, and then as soon as you talk to me, you get your money. Is that?
That's it, man.
Hey, John, you had a question for Nellie, though.
I had a couple questions. One, so the EIDL loan.
Yeah.
So when we purchased this business, we took it out an SBA loan. So we have that loan, which we are also getting, I think, deferment on that loan right now. That's one of the things that we're getting.
Yes.
I think 6 months at least on that loan.
That is correct.
So my concern right now is okay, so we've got 2 months of payroll covered. If this thing goes much longer, if I apply, can I apply for that other loan, that EIDL loan, if I already have an existing loan with the SBA that when I purchased the business? Does that have any impact on that?
The answer to your question is, according to the SBA, yes, you may apply for the economic injury disaster loan. And, as a small business owner, to another small business owner, we applied for both the EIDL and the Paycheck Protection Program. Okay. And this is what I tell, anyone that I work with is it's foolish of you not to apply for the EIDL, because there is that cash advance of up to $10,000 component that can become a grant, and that's free money in your pocket.
Sure. And that's what I was listening to you guys talk, and that's what I was thinking, okay, we probably should do it. So when you talk about a nominal fee, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what is that nominal fee?
It's all over the website. It's all over.
Okay.
We are charging $349 for application, but our service fee that we're charging for also includes verification of all the information that you are providing to us as a SBA third-party loan packager. We take information, and we also have 2 different processing options in-house. So our processing times are, from the time you give us the information as to when we're going to submit it. So, we have 2 prices right now. It's $349, and it'll take, I think on our website, it says 3 to 5 business days to submit your loan application to the SBA, assuming you've given us all the information and it's verified. And then we can do it within 24 hours if you want to pay the expedited filing fees, and we'll have somebody, talking with you and getting on the phone with you like today. So it's happening. It's there.
Perfect.
We're literally processing economic injury disaster loan applications on the clock, and we're getting submissions. We're getting confirmations. The beauty of choosing a company like ours is the fact that when we actually submit your application and get a confirmation, we're going to send that over to you, and then we're going to tell you step by step what are your next steps. Who do you need to contact? Where do you need to contact? A lot of small business owners don't have this information. They don't know where to go. But again, at the end of this whole thing, I want to tell you, if you have the time, if you have the patience, save the $349, go do it on your own, because
I don't have that patience. Brad will tell you, I don't have the patience for that. I don't mind gathering all the documents and get everything together, but it's just a thing where I had gone to the SBA website at one point to look at this, and the website was at a crawl. I think it was just getting bombarded.
Crashed at one point. So for those of you who went and applied for the economic injury disaster loan prior to last Sunday, not this past Sunday, but prior to last Sunday, it was a whole different application process. They were having you upload your tax filings, your tax returns. Their systems crashed completely. So they had to get developers to completely do a fast track type of application intake process, where now they're literally asking you for the information without having you do any document uploads, and then they're giving you a confirmation number. And then what we're hearing from the SBA is that any type of loan qualification amount of up to $500,000 is just being automatically approved without your application being assigned to an actual SBA loan processor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
Well, I'll be on your site.
Well, this has been great. Thanks, John, for coming in. And it's also
absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
For the first time in 30 years, he actually said he was listening to me. So that's worth it just for that.
I'm not going to go there.
All right, man.
Take it easy, man.
See ya.
Best of luck.
That was fun. Okay, so we found out in less than an hour that this stuff actually happens. You actually works. So
yes, and thanks to you, we got an approval too. So I'm really excited right now. I'm actually crawling out of my skin.
No, that was actually
not start on a positive note. Let me tell you.
Yeah, so it's great that
at each other's throats. The kids and I have been at each other's throats. So yes, this has been the happiest part of my day.
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to do this and to help folks understand the whole process. And then, the goal at the end of the rainbow there is that you got your notifications, and it sounds like maybe we're at the start of people that applied earlier starting the hear back. So maybe that's a good thing.
Yes. So I really want to thank you for this opportunity to allowing me to come on your show. I really just want to thank everybody who's listening in. For those of you who are not listening in, stay the course. This is going to pass. This too shall pass. Break up your day. You need to remain calm. You need to have your sanity. This stuff is not easy. I mean, listen, it's not going away in 2 days, but it's going to pass. And we're going to have something to look back in history. However, Right now is when you, specifically those of you who are entrepreneurs, who are small business owners, this is your test. This is your test to really see if you're made out to be an entrepreneur. So get out there, do what you're supposed to do, keep shining, and thank you again for this opportunity.
And once again, where can people go to learn more about how you're helping them get through this process?
So for those of you that are interested in having CorpNet assist you with any type of SBA loan financial assistance, first of all, please check out our website at www.corpnet.com. That's www.corp as in Paul, N as in Nancy, et.com. You can always reach out to us by calling our offices 1-888-449-2638. We have live chat experts online waiting to assist you, or simply reach out to us by email to info@corpnet.com. My name is Nellie Akalp. I'm CEO and founder of CorpNet. I'm all over social media. You're always welcome to DM me on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and I'm here to help you.
And you've been a great help. So thanks again, and stay safe and healthy. And hopefully we'll start seeing a little more of these checks starting to roll in. So that's a good thing.
Yes. And you too, Brent. Thank you again. And you too, stay safe and healthy.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.